What's up? Welcome back to Joe's Coral Reef. Today we're going to be doing a little fragging. My acans and my Frogspawn are just too close together. If you look in there, you'll see these fine strands, and it's pieces of the Frogspawn that the acans got a hold of, and it's just pulling the pieces out of the Frogspawn. I can't believe the Frogspawn doesn't retract more. Last week or so, I've been putting little pieces of rock in there, to try to keep them separated, but the clown pushes everything away. So I've got no choice. I'm going to go in there and cut off a piece of that Frogspawn, mount it to some live rock, and make another frag. I've got a lot of them. I've been trying to sell them. I haven't been doing too well, but I'll make another one. So here I'm just reaching into the tank. I've got these, I think they're Boston Aquatics cutters. I just put it around the branch, gently, slowly. I just kind of cut through the branch. The branch is thick. The branch has got to be an inch thick. You can see the whole head of coral there moving, but I'm just kind of slowly cutting it. So I cut it away. Of course, first thing the clown does is come back to check it out. So you seen me take the cutters. I cut that Frogspawn off. It was a big branch. Surprising how big it gets. And I grabbed a little piece of rubble from the tank. And I found one that sits flat, and it also has a little dish in the top. And I like the dish because I'll stick the Frogspawn branch in there, and then I'll take these little other pieces of rubble that I found. I'll place them around there, and then with the sand, I'll push the sand into the little crevices and the openings, try to give it a nice solid base. That's it. That's all I do. I've got my super glue gel ready. I use the gel, not the other stuff. I've got an old tube that's got a little bit in there I'll try to use up. And I've also got an unopened new tube in case you never know. When you go to frag something, you never know what's going to happen. And before I stick it in there, I'll let it dry about 30 seconds. And then I'll take some tank water. And I'll pour the tank water over this frag, just to try to get that glue to kind of, harden up, and then wash away anything that I don't want on there. And then I'll put it in the tank, and then I'm done. And I've done that with, tons and tons of these Frogspawn frags. So let's get to it. Let's do another one. I always try to, when I'm pulling the Frogspawn out of the water, I don't know if it's worth it or not, but I try to get the Frogspawn to retract. I shake it a little, just to try to get the polyps to retract. That is some huge branching coral. I know. There you go. So look at the branch on that sucker. And the branching was not always this big when I would grow it. Ever since I started really measuring and dosing and measuring and dosing, I've seen the branches on the Frogspawn. It's just a lot thicker than it used to be. So I've kind of dried it off. I think it will fit in there. Wow, that fits really nice without much. I'm gonna, I think like this. Yeah, that looks good. Right there. There. I just got it on there, right? Very liberal with the glue. Good. Just stick it in there. And then what I've always found, I always have to glue in some kind of little support pieces All right, along the outside edge. Something in the middle. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gluing that in there. There's another little piece. I'll dry this one off. Let's see. Something like, there we go, right there. We're just sticking little pieces of rubble in there. And after the rubble, all right, it's a calcium rock, so if you push it, it does crush pretty easy in there. All right, you're just trying to fill that gap, and it's got glue. It kind of forms a nice little bond. All right, and then after that, I got my sand wet, but we'll stick some sand in there. All right, just stick some sand in there. Sometimes these go easy, sometimes they don't. It's always an adventure when you're fragging all this branching coral. And it's nice to be able to, if you can get a cap over the top of it where you pinch it, that's always the best. See, like something like that. So I can kind of, oops, I glued the other super glue to the super glue. Oop, I got some on my finger. Sweet super glue. There we go. Just had it. How did I do that? Like this. Like that, like that. There we go. Whoops. This is a big branch. There we go. Being difficult. You gotta hold it. Here, a little rock. All right. I guess the other thing to note is, this has been out of the water a while, but so the Frogspawn, as it grows, as it grows off the branch, you could see, I don't know if you could see it, but there's a line where it becomes from really soft to calcium, and it looks like it's not alive anymore. And that's really where you want to glue. This isn't working very well with the sand there, because if you can't glue to where it's that slimy white. It really has to be the, I guess it's dead. It's just the grow out from the base. You really have to glue to that range. Otherwise, you have to pinch it in something. The sand didn't work out very well. I ran out of sand, and I'm not going back in there for more. But it seems pretty good. I'm gonna take one more piece of rock and I'm gonna glue it like that. See if we get a little more gel left. We do. Come on, there we go. Come on, gel. There we go. Right off. All right, that's all we're trying to do is cover this base.
push it. We're good. There you go. A nice little Frogspawn frag. It's got a nice base. It's solid. It'll grow out from there. All right. Is it level? Somewhat level. There we go. We'll take some tank water. We'll dump some tank water on here. We'll let it sit just a couple seconds. You could already see, so it was growing. Actually, this was growing inverted down, and you could see the growth is on this side. In this back side, there's not much growth. So mounting it like this, hopefully up, pointing the opposite way, it'll get more growth and it'll bush out a little more. There's so much of it, it grows like a bulb in there. It's weird. So, okay, let's get a little tank water. Let's pour it on there. Push the ATO down a little because it's going to set off the ATO. And